Hey people, I looked on my page yesterday and seen that YouTube had me in the same class as Alex Jones, and I take that as an insult. I feel myself as a truth seeker, and I see Alex as a fear monger, using fear to sell his products. And we have nothing to fear but becoming addictive to mind numbing products. I do believe everything Alex Jones talks about is true, but it's no reason for an enlightened soul to fear. I had two reasons for doing these videos. One is to get this information out there, and the other is I was seeking for some help. Anybody knew anything about these ancient books that are missing? But it looks like nobody's ever heard of this. I'm not getting any help. So I'm going to try to cram a bunch of information in here, and I'm going to get back to my readings. These videos are cutting into my meditation and reading time too much. The only reason there's hungry people in the world is for control, is a form of control. Farmers love their job. They feed us all for free if we just supply fuel. But the government pays them to not grow food, because if it becomes too cheap, they lose control. They can't get us to do the things they want us to do. All their money becomes worthless to them, and we have too much time on our hands to look up and see what's really going on. It's been going on for so long that our rulers today don't even know why or when. All they know is they have to hide it. When the Templars were looking for the Holy Grail, they knew what they were looking for. They knew it wasn't a cup or a bloodline. They knew it was the writings that was removed. It was for the birds, for the royalty of Egypt. That's why you see all the bird heads. All these ancient rulers and shamans understood the pineal gland well, and they understood the benefits of rubbing it against the purified tree of knowledge. And you'll see them gathering up and putting it in their bag often. So this caught my eye this morning, and I knew it needed to be investigated. But Ocho Rios, Jamaica, has got no rivers. 8 Rivers, Jamaica, has got no rivers in it. And I knew it needed to be investigated and see what was going on. So when I break down Ocho Rios with the ancient language, it says, to see the divided eye. The first works to see fire. Looks like the Indians got here sometime after the last cataclysm, and their ancient language, their Jamaica, was spelled with an X, and it would mean ayahuasca, the medicine waters to see Ka. These people also had no fear of death, because when the East India Trading Company or the Trinity Drug Company tried to enslave them, they chose death. So I don't believe any of their other writings, because like everywhere else, the British killed all the ancient people and moved their own slaves in. But we could see this Trinity was the union of Jacob. It was Naphtali, Dan, and Judah. So Naphtali, that would be what you use to purify the naphtha, to get the pure seed, to make the connection through life. And this Jacob, after his wrestling, he became Israel. So we're going to take a closer look at this renaming here in Genesis 30. We can see everything starts with the Vav again. We're going to take a closer look at 8 and 11. So the first thing we notice here is this Elohim that means God everywhere else, or we call alchemy. It just means a pretty good wrestling match when it comes to Rachel. And the way Moses tells it is her sister was a hottie, so this is probably the first logged cat fight that I missed out on. This GM is gum. It's to lift the waters. This is the tree sap that lifts the waters to the top of the tree. So we got these two words meaning wrestlings, and I have wrestled as Naphtali and Naphtali. But if we go up 2 chapters when Jacob's wrestling, we have two completely different words meaning wrestle there. And that would be the barbecue. So we're going to skip up a couple verses and we leave that vav off the beginning because we know it just means it's connected to the writings before it. And this Aya, to bind Aya, that's the knowledge of life, and you'll see that A and E connected in a lot of writings up to 200 years ago. They were still using that. These parentheses here, sometimes there's columns that'll come after them, and sometimes it's talking about the columns on the other page that you're working with. Now this Gad here, it could very well mean God, because I know when I made the pure life, that's when I thought I saw God too. So it says in the commentary here that the man that Jacob wrestled with was really an angel, and it was the second person in the Trinity, which was Emmanuel, or the Son of God, God in the flesh. It says Jacob named this place where he wrestled with the angel Peniel, the face of God. So this commentary doesn't really dispute what I was saying. In the Hebrew, it says the name of this man was the knowledge to make consume, or the knowledge to make fires. Man is usually Adama, but there's a lot of other words in the Bible giving the meaning man. This word meaning wrestled has the ABQ in common with the next verse of the word meaning wrestled. And these keys I've been searching for, I found them stashed away in the Greek book of Genesis. Uh, they got the seed, the knowledge of holy plants divided, and they got the meaning of it being in the beginning. And in the book of John, we got the instructions to connect the logos, and also in the book of Mark, we have part of the ARX too, the carried knowledge. We're going to take a look at this emerald tablet of Thoth. Uh, it references all through the Bible. You'll see on the top there the DBRX, through the house of the royal plants, the pharmacy of the royal psychotic. So this is the same language. It's written in one of the earlier Samaritan scripts, and you could tell because there's some of the letters that are different. You'll see them on the left farther in the older language. So I got a couple different Bibles on top there so you can see the connection. But this is Deuteronomy 1, and the word on the top, that comes out of the older Bible, and I got that in front of the 5 chapters. It's just the 5 chapters of the Torah, the 5 books of the Torah, and they all start with that SPR, the supporting pictures to begin, or the secrets to open first. And then it'll have a name of the picture that you need to look at when you're reading this. And so it says the motion, the waters to consume seed, or from the fire cycles, and then the Torah, the writings connected to the first life. And if you look down at that second set of script, that oldest one on the bottom, you'll see on the bottom right that DBR. That D was the shape of the pyramid, the distillery, through the house of Ra. You'll see up the 4th word is the same thing. Learn to consume first, the house of Ra. And this is the only page I get to. They erased the rest of it. I only get this front page. But what it says is through the house of Ra, or pure in to begin. Um, and underneath there it says the charms, uh, divided first waters, the TNT, and the waters divided, cut, connected seal. The waters divided that cut off connected seals. And you see underneath there, it is say knowledge of the water cycles. This book of the moon, knowledge of the water cycle. So all the ancient pantheons of gods and all their strange affairs and incestuous, that was all. That was all the dividing of the books, the mixing of the books. And so the story of Osiris getting cut up and not find his penis, that would be this book here. This is the first book that had to be removed from the Bible. So I just found something that looks real interesting. Psalm 72 here I'm going to work on. And I'm waiting on books for a month. They're supposed to come in tomorrow. So I'm going to leave you some things here you can look at. Might interest you. You might want to go back and pause and look at some of the others. And I'll try to get something up on this Psalm 72. It looks like it's the bind of the fires to bind the water life, the bind of Solomon. So I found so many new things while doing this, I kind of lost interest. So I'm going to try to make the other one a little more interesting for you. I found a lot of new things that might shock you. So good day, people.